Hey, Mikey, obviously a huge result in the first game of the season. How do you replicate that for this next weekend, and how do you build off that momentum?
We just focus on ourselves. We focus on our process, our principles, our training, our people. Focus on our performance every single day. Try to make it a habit. So at the end of the day, it's not about replicating it in the game. It's about replicating every day that we come and train.
And then is there anything specific with St. Louis with that 3 center back line that you have to kind of train differently to play them?
Yeah, I mean, when you play against a back five, the spaces change. So we'll focus on the spaces we want to exploit and the ones that we want to take away when they have the ball. But we still focus mostly on ourselves, and we focus again on our style of play, our principles, and make that as much of a habit as possible.
What do you think the atmosphere?
Expectations for the season?
Yeah, expectations are there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be really high highs as we had in Galaxy. And listen, we're gonna trip and we're gonna have stumbling blocks. But what I know is that the guys are gonna stay committed to our style of play, to our values, and to who we are.
And if I was someone that had never been to a San Diego FC game, which people haven't, what was an expect for a professional MLS game?
I think a lot of excitement in the stands. They'll see an exciting game. It'll be an exciting game because we want to play with initiative, and then they'll see a fighting team spirit from us.
And what does it mean to be a part of the San Diego FC history as the first team?
Yeah, I mean, all of us are honored by this opportunity, and at the end of the day, we also cherish the responsibility that comes with it, and it's a big responsibility because we know the club will be here 100 years from now. We won't, and so the steps that we take now are going to be pushing this club in a trajectory, and we want to make sure we do the best.
What have you heard from around the soccer world about you guys' win the other night?
I'm a media and social media illiterate. I don't hear very much. What I do know is that we analyzed the game. We were really happy with how we played, but we still see a lot of room for improvement too. So this week we're focusing on being humble. Listen, we won one game. We want to win more. Being relentless in terms of always wanting more, and then having a growth mindset because we know that we can be better.
How about phone calls, texts, things like that?
Huh?
How about phone calls, texts from friends?
Yeah,
colleagues,
everybody's
whatever?
really excited. Listen, we can't take away what the boys did. First game in history, you go away to LA, and you beat a team that's reigning champions and hasn't lost a home game since 2023. You did something important, but the most important thing is to turn the page and know that this is a marathon of a season, and we got to focus on being champions every day in training before we can do anything special from a result standpoint.
In the NFL, they have the 24-hour rule. Since this is my MLS debut, is there something similar where you celebrate for a while, but then you put it behind you?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Forward?
Listen, we have a philosophy in terms of when you win and you do something, you should celebrate. You have to celebrate small victories in life. It's not every day that you get to do that. But you got to get over it pretty quick, and then you got to look deep in the details to see what you can get better at. And when you lose, you should be pissed off for a bit, but you have to have that same turnaround. And you have to also look at the game with eyes of growth, but also with eyes with a balance of emotions to make sure that you actually recognize that when you lose, not everything was so bad either.
Bernie, as we used to ask Philip Rivers, can you take momentum into this game knowing it happened last week? Philip used to say too much time.
Yeah, momentum is a tricky thing, and we call it the flow here. So how does flow keep going in your direction? But all I do know is that we talk about it a lot in terms of training to training, week to week, and game to game, how we can impact the flow, the momentum of the game as much as possible.
I'm curious on what led to the decision to trade away an international roster spot for Luca Bombino.
We see Luca as a high potential talent. We've talked about this idea that we're here to win. But how we win and who we win with matters, and part of that who is character, but the other part of that who is young, promising talents that can make next steps into Europe at some point. So we see Luca with tremendous potential, and we want to work with him to help him make next steps and help us win at the same time.
And how's the fitness for some of the players that weren't available, like Andres Reyes? I know Franco came out with a knock in the game. How is the
Franco's good, and then Andres is good. He's good to go. It's just a matter of us making sure that we set him up for success. So making sure that we give him enough volume in training before we throw him back out into a match. But he's going to be an important part of this team, and when he's ready, he'll be flying.
In your time here in San Diego, have you gotten the sense for how excited fans are to have MLS finally?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious when you meet the fans and when you're around them. And we've been lucky enough to have a lot of events where we've had really close interactions with the fans. So I recognize most of their faces now, and I know a lot of their names, which is for me something quite special.
Like after Andres' second goal there, 90-plus minutes in, the broadcast got you giving a pretty good celebration. Can you take us back into that emotion after all the build-up and everything, knowing you had clinched that first victory, just what that was like for you?
I have no idea what I did, and honestly, all I was thinking about was the next 30 seconds was going to be the most important. You know, as soon as the goal happened, I know I celebrated. Again, I don't know exactly what I did. You lose your mind a little bit when you score goals in football because it's such a hard thing to do. But I know as soon as that went away, I wasn't thinking the game was over. I was thinking we need to finish strong. We need to go for a third goal. We need to keep them out of our box.
And I'm curious, obviously a great performance, scoring a brace in your MLS debut. What are former teammates or people just letting you know about that performance overall?
No, they sent me a message and that they're happy to see that I made a great debut for my new team, and they're happy for me. So now, of course, I wanted to continue and do well on Saturday, but most important is that we as a team go out and first home game for San Diego Football Club, and we want to make that as a good history also.
And what are your expectations for the fans? It's supposed to be the largest crowd ever in a soccer match in San Diego. What are your expectations there?
I don't want to put them too high, but hopefully it's gonna be nice. I'm looking forward to that, and as you say, like the largest, hopefully it's gonna be a magical night, and we want to make it a magical Saturday for the fans and for the city, and for us players.
In your time here in San Diego, I know it's short, but have you gotten a sense for the fans wanting MLS, for how big of a soccer
you can really feel the energy from the fans and the passion about now having a football team in San Diego. It's you can feel it, definitely. We can feel it out here, and as I say, like, we need that 12th man at home. The fans is our 12th man, and we're just looking forward so much to start our MLS season at home.
What has the reaction been that you've heard around the soccer world from your big win the other night at the Galaxy?
I heard some different things, and people are personally happy also for me, former teammates and stuff like that. But I think that the way we showed the philosophy we want to play in San Diego is nice, and we show that to the US and to the rest of the world who follow the league, and so that was a good start.
Angel, I mean, that second goal right against Galaxy, what was it like just watching it back and just seeing that play that you built up?
I think it's a very nice play. We were now in the state in a place in the game where we were suffering a little bit, and obviously to come in the match and help for that second goal is obviously very exciting, and for me it's very happy, because I know that everyone that plays is gonna try to do the best and try to help the team win. And obviously, it's an important message to the league to beat the actual champions from last year and in their field. So very, very happy for that.
What do you think the atmosphere is going to be like Saturday night for the home opener?
I think it's going to be amazing. I think what I've seen, they're going to do record attendance, and it's going to be exciting to be there and play.
But it's something that you've worked on your game to eventually earn a starting spot.
Oh, I think every day you try your best, you work on those things you need to improve, and obviously reinforce those that you have done well. But I know it's how I've always said, it's a team that everybody can play, everybody can give that little grain of sand, and it's just wait for the right moment and obviously be prepared.
And I'm curious, what was that conversation with the head coach Mikey Varas after the performance that you put, even though you you were only there for a few minutes last week?
Oh, I think it's obviously very exciting for him, very pleasant for you as a game changer. That even though it was 2-3 minutes, you could come and put the 2-0, the assist, and obviously the team can show a different kind of image with those who come inside.
How is the home opener, you think, going to compare to the season opener? Obviously, you pull off the win, but now you got the home opener. What's the excitement level there?
I think it's with your fans. I think that's a plus, and obviously we set the standard high, and we know that, so we're prepared for that, and obviously we're gonna go out and try to win.
What does it mean to you to be able to put on the San Diego FC jersey as the inaugural team, first time ever?
It's important for you. I've always said it's very rare, a situation like this in this kind of sport. Not every time you're going to see a new team in a new league to write those first pages, to write those first chapters, and obviously everything you do and do well, it's going to be there for forever, and nobody's going to erase it. So it's very exciting.
How are you feeling going into
Excited, obviously happy. It's just the beginning, and we started very well, and we have to keep the tempo and keep that standard high.
We're going to swap players.
Chucky, obviously, what did it mean to see the away fans, like the fans going to that game last week, and what are your expectations coming into Snapdragon on Saturday?
No, yo creo que va a ser muy bonito el partido de local, como yo espero y creo va a estar toda la gente, nos va a apoyar mucho, y bueno, como lo hicieron allá en Galaxy, ¿no? La gente que fue y apoyó al máximo y se entregó al equipo, y creo que en esta ocasión en casa va a ser, yo creo que mucho más que esa vez, ¿no? Entonces yo creo que va a ser un momento muy especial para todos.
And how does the team build off the momentum of the first ever win and train differently to face St. Louis?
¿Cómo toman la actividad, el resultado del partido pasado para enfrentar el impulso del partido pasado para enfrentar a St. Louis?
No, yo creo que igual que en el último partido, seguir trabajando, seguir concentrados en lo que queremos. El equipo está muy bien, los compañeros son grandes seres humanos y bueno, tienen mucha calidad, entonces yo creo que hay que seguir en la misma página y seguir con ese paso.
There was a moment after the Galaxy game where you found a young fan in the stands, gave your jersey to him. What did that moment mean to you, and what do you think it meant to that young fan?
No, es increíble. Yo creo que el cariño que me muestran, el cariño que me dan, siempre creo que es mutuo, y darles un poco de alegría y esos detalles para la gente, para los niños especialmente, creo que para mí es sumamente especial. La verdad que les agradezco mucho a toda la gente que me apoya, que me sigue y que ve mis juegos, entonces la verdad que agradecido con el apoyo.
Yeah, it's incredible. The supporters, they give me a lot of support, and I think in my regard it's mutual for me to give it back to them, and it's very special, especially for children. I'm thankful to all those that support me and watch our games, so I have to return that.
Chucky, you experienced the excitement of San Diego fans when you were introduced at the Rady Shell several months ago. Do you think Saturday night's atmosphere is going to be that wild, that exciting, whatever it might be, emotional for the fans?
¿Llegaste a vivir la atmósfera cuando te presentaron? ¿Crees que el sábado sería similar?
Sí, yo creo que sí, va a ser, yo creo que más especial por lo que mostramos en la cancha, por lo que hicimos en la cancha, y bueno, es el primer partido en casa, en nuestro estadio, con nuestra gente. Yo creo que va a ser sumamente especial, tanto para ellos, para nosotros, y va a ser un partido muy emocionante, tanto anímicamente y futbolísticamente. Entonces yo creo que va a ser un partido muy bonito.
Yeah.
¿Cómo estás, Chucky? Ya la emoción diferente para presentarse en casa, te trajeron para esto, para ese gran día. ¿Cómo estás?
No, muy contento, muy feliz. Creo que hemos trabajado muy duro, hemos hecho un gran partido contra el Galaxy bueno, hay que seguir en ese paso, ¿no? Va a ser una bienvenida muy bonita en casa. Espero y creo que la gente va a apoyar, va a estar ahí en ese partido y bueno, ojalá que se siga con ese paso tan bueno y bueno, es un torneo largo, es paso a paso y hay que trabajar mucho.
El estilo de juego, Irving, ¿cómo se vive dentro de la cancha? Vemos que es atractivo, que los jugadores también influyen mucho en cómo lo vives ese estilo de juego dentro.
No, muy bonito, yo creo que se disfruta, ¿no? Como futbolista y como espectador, ver un fútbol así creo que es muy bonito. Yo creo que tanto como en el último partido con Galaxy también sabe jugar muy bien, entonces ver un partido así yo creo que es atractivo, es bonito, se disfruta y bueno, ojalá que tengamos partidos así más seguido y bueno, yo creo que vamos en buen camino.
Oye, Chucky, hablando de eso, quien quedó impresionado, ¿no? Digamos, por el buen juego del San Diego FC fue Javier Aguirre, que dice que va a venir, de hecho ayer dijo, ¿no? Que va a venir, que va a hablar contigo. ¿Has tenido contacto con él? ¿Qué esperas? Porque digo, también decía, ¿no? Que te ha visto, que fue contigo incluso pues, donde vivías antes, que estabas lesionado y que habló contigo. ¿Estás emocionado, digamos, porque tiene la puerta abierta, ¿no? Para que regreses a la selección.
No, la verdad no he tenido oportunidad ahorita de hablar con él. Yo creo que en estos días yo creo que se dará la oportunidad. Sí, fue a visitarme. Como lo he comentado, hemos tenido pláticas muy positivas, muy bonitas y bueno, si me da la oportunidad de regresar, yo sumamente contento, ¿no? Yo creo que como siempre lo he manifestado, soy muy contento de ir a la selección, me encanta ir y bueno, para mí siempre es un sueño regresar a la selección y jugar con esa camiseta.
Precisamente, ¿no? Eso me llamó la atención porque él decía, no quiero a nadie a huevo, ¿no? Aquí en la selección. ¿Alguna vez has sentido que has ido a fuerza a la selección o algún compañero lo ha sentido como el compromiso, digamos, como de representar a México?
En lo personal, yo nunca voy a estar en esa posición. Como lo he dicho, me encanta y me gusta mucho y siempre si tengo la oportunidad de defender esa playera lo haré al máximo y bueno, de mis compañeros yo no te puedo hablar y no te puedo decir, ¿no? Yo creo que yo no soy quien para decir esas cosas, ¿no? Pero en lo personal siempre disponible.
Gran reto, Chucky, para ti en lo personal, el tema de la selección también, ganarte un lugar ahora con la gran competencia. Decían que hoy en día hay más delanteros que nunca, muy bueno para el fútbol mexicano. Ganarte un lugar ahí o en esa competencia, ¿cómo te ves?
Estoy tranquilo, yo sé lo que soy y que tengo adentro, ¿no? Y bueno, muchos dirán y criticarán y darán su opinión como es normal, pero yo sé quién soy y qué es lo que yo tengo como futbolísticamente, personalmente y personalmente, entonces estoy muy tranquilo.
¿Y qué tan importante es para ti este 2025, un año que pinta con mucha actividad?
No, yo la verdad que espero que todo salga de la mejor manera y como lo he pensado y lo he soñado. Creo que aquí me siento muy bien, muy cómodo, muy a gusto. Me han arropado de la mejor manera, tanto el club, la gente del club y la gente de la ciudad. Ha sido fantástico, estoy sumamente feliz y bueno, la verdad que yo espero y creo que daré mi mejor versión aquí.
¿Un mensaje a la afición de Tijuana y San Diego?
No, que nos apoyen, que nos sigan en todo momento, es un camino largo, esto va empezando y bueno, que vamos a trabajar y luchar para llegar a los objetivos.
Cambiamos de jugador.
Gracias.